So today was a little bit of a tough day. It started off really good. And to give you some context, I struggled to get out of bed this morning. Just for some reason, I don't know if you've ever had it, where every muscle in your body says, go back to sleep. Even though you just know that about 3 minutes into you being up and moving around, you're fine. But you just won't let your body get out of bed. And that was that day. And it turned into more of that through the day, that there's some things that happened today that were a little frustrating. I ended up quoting a guy, and we'll talk about it here in a second, over $5,000. And I don't think he has another choice. So there's those struggles that you have on day to day and some of those policies that just are unique. Today I went to the office and I was about 15 minutes late. Not because I didn't get out of bed on time, because I technically did get out of bed, but I didn't bring the girls to school. So because I didn't bring the girls to school, I could get up later. I got my shave, my shower, and all of that stuff, all of the things. And I went to go outside right on time. I'm like, all right, I'm good. I'm going to make it. No one's going to be like, hey, we're not going to, where's Mark? And I forgot that it snowed 6+ inches the night before. And my car sits outside. And I had to wipe off the car, heat it up. I honestly drove down the road with half of the car with snow because I couldn't get over the snowbank in my dress shoes. And it was a nightmare. Scraping the window, I extended the brush and I'm just brushing away, trying to get as far as I could. And I got my whole car like this. I got this tiny little window on the right side. So I honestly had to pull out of the driveway. As I was coming out of the driveway, I had to stop in the middle of the road and open the door and jump over the car just to see if there was another car coming. I just thought I was going to get hit for some reason. So I got to work. I made it safe, and the day began. We had meetings that were promptu. If you are a business owner, you'll realize that is the toughest thing, is having promptu meetings, that I absolutely love, because it's conversations and sometimes arguments, but it's about business growth. And if you know anything about any business owner, we love to talk about future plans, future growth. What are the next strategies? What are and we spent half of our morning talking about doing center of influence, like a marketer and all of that stuff. We're looking to do a social media person. That led into a lunch with a meeting, which prompted the video that you recently had. I had a meeting with a friend of mine, and we talked about different pay structures. We're looking to hire someone new in our agency, and they're stuck in their current position because they took a bonus and can't get out because they'd have to pay the bonus back, and who wants to pay $5,000 back? You might as well wait the other 5 months or 7 months or whatever the case is, just to have the full bonus before you leave, which, I don't know. Some people just don't get that part of it. The longevity isn't as much as the necessity of income today. And if that's the case, most people are not going to do well in this industry as far as the pay goes. Lunch happened. We did that, got back. I didn't make a single phone call today. This is kind of a depressing video, man. I'm sorry. After that, I started working on a quote. I have a guy, and this is where the struggle comes in. So the problem is, we've got a person that has reached out to me, and they're buying a new house. Well, the house isn't built yet. So the house is supposed to be built and finished by next year. It's been a while since I've done one of those, but I'm fairly familiar on how to do them. The problem is, almost no companies like to write new build homes. It's a high risk because the builder could do whatever, and there's scams involved with it, and there's all of these pieces that move around. Plus, on top of it, no one almost ever stays the full 12 months. So much so that some companies that will force you to purchase the 12 months, and it's non-refundable. If you go 5 months in and you want to cancel it, you don't get any money back. So it doesn't matter. That's how much of, not issue, but a commonality of when the build's done, you write a whole new policy, because you can't have a builder's policy when you need an HO3 policy. Getting that put into place, I'm trying to go through, and I'm a little bit more old school where I don't like to just call and get the answers. I got to know myself. So I'm going through each company that I work with and double checking to see if they've changed their rules to whether they will write a new build. And there's only 2 companies that we came across, and one just got denied. So it's kind of like and the other one I kind of feel like is expensive, but I get it. Like they're inflating the cost because they know in 7 to 8 months the policy is going to cancel anyway, so they're never going to collect all of that premium. They're just going to get a small piece of it. We're changing the deductibles, trying to figure out the coverage. There's not a whole lot you can do. In the meantime, I'm working on this other quote, and it keeps locking me up because I've played too much with the coverage trying to get the right pieces to mix, because not all of the material is known. We're half guessing and trying to fill in the pieces because this house isn't built yet. We haven't physically laid the foundation yet for this home. So at the end of the day, we did end with a success though. We got that quoted. So I'm going to work on it a little bit more tomorrow and fine tune it, because I don't just let quotes be quotes. If I know somebody's super interested and they're likely going to purchase from me, I make sure I do all I can do to get them the best possible rate along with the coverage. I want to make sure they have the best fit. It makes sense that they're happy on their end, we're happy on our end, and then we create a long-term connection. Because I want to have that person for 20 years from now come to me and say, we need to do this, we need to do that. I want to be that guy. I want to be the connection for them. The success was we actually sold a policy late tonight. So about 8 o'clock, I made a phone call to a person that watched one of my videos online. They responded. I gave them a quote. I have no clue what they're paying because I just don't care anymore. I just want to give them the best service I can, give them the coverage I think they need, and whatever their other insurance quoted, they quoted. They're interested. So we went over some of the questions, answered a few pieces. They actually opted for the higher coverage, so we even increased it a little bit. And so we have a new home and auto policy. And that wraps up the end of my year, so to speak. We've got more to come. Tomorrow's another day. We're going to work on that new build insurance policy and just see what we can get from there. There's a few other things that we're working on in the meantime, which I hope to share with everybody, just the strategies that I have. Now, I know I make a lot of videos on this channel that are more how-tos and things like that, but I also want to share just my path. And I don't think that I'm the one-all answer for everybody, but I do feel like I'm in the right direction. And I've got a good partner who we're about to rip each other's heads off sometimes more lately than before, just because we're doing the budget. And next year we're planning on $30,000 to $50,000 in marketing. And that's a good chunk for a second year in business. So even though we did really well this year, we plan on growing a lot more next year, adding a new agent, adding increased budget. It's going to make us busy. We've already added a part-time admin person to help doing the billing and policy changes. Just kind of the non-things that they can do without having an insurance license until we get them licensed. More to come, lots happening. I'll see you soon.